Okay, I made a comment on some post about somebody mentioned something about Elon Musk losing money or investors, and there was a few things mentioned, but what nobody's mentioning is something I've been talking about for a while. Okay, Elon got sued for not delivering on his hype from his investors, and his investors lost. The judge ruled in Musk's favor, saying that Elon is known for exaggerated expectations. That wasn't the exact term, but that's all I could remember, but basically for his vast exaggerations. Elon was selling possibilities, things that could possibly come to be, and nobody should have taken his word. The judge said everyone knows it's corporate puffing and not to be believed. I can't believe corporate puffing is legal, which is clear lack of ethics, and not just from corporations, but the legal system itself. This is not in the public interest and not maintaining the public trust. Now, anybody that's ever read the rules of professional conduct, which are the legal obligations of all lawyers and judges, would know, because everybody in the legal system is required to do what's in the public interest and maintain. It says in the preamble, the rule of professional conduct, and maintain the public trust, which the legal system is part of the public trust, meaning that belongs to the public. So they are always legally obligated to do what's in the public interest. So my question is not just to you, but anybody in the legal system: how is lying to your investors? How is that even legal? How is it? And then clearly lack of ethics. I mean, there's ethics in politics, which isn't happening. Look it up. Ethics in politics. I think I did a video on that. There's supposed to be ethics in politics, ethics in the media. Now it's only required by PBS. But in corporations, if you look up ethics, there's even a lot of corporations have ethics. So with corporations, people that run these corporations or own these corporations, these big businesses, they're used to doing that corporate puffing, and that's how they got rich. The old saying goes, if it's too good to believe, it is. But I just thought you should know, when it comes to these rich people, corporate puffing is a thing. And now you have them in politics, and they took that corporate puffing from the corporate world to the political world. But it's always been there, considering the fact the RNC and the DNC, were bought and paid for, by corporations, Wall Street. But some even suggested having patches like race car drivers who they work for. But see, those are also ethical violations, And if you look up the basic obligations of public service, look that up. Big money in corporation, corporate money, lobbying, shadow lobbying, Citizens United. A lot of these things are in the interest of corporations. So not only is that illegal in the rules of professional conduct, it says there in the preamble, so no lawyer, no matter what side of the table they work on, should be operating against the public interest. They are legally required to do what's in the public interest, and that's how you maintain the public trust, which is the legal system. And remember, the rules of professional conduct is just not their obligations to you, it's their obligations to the public in general. And these are the legal obligations of all lawyers and judges, as well as code of judicial conduct. And that's what gives you effective assistance of counsel, which is guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution, 6th Amendment. And regretfully, that isn't happening either. A lot of corporate puffing there, or legally known as under the color of law. A conspiracy to deprive rights under the color of law. That's a legal term too. You could look that up on the internet. I did that. Quite a few people questioned me. I said, no, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just look it up. And I even sent people links, and they're too politically involved, too politically religious. But, corporate puffing. It being legal is not in the public interest. But you decide, you're the public. If you read the rules of professional conduct, it says in the preamble, every lawyer and judge out there is supposed to do what's in the public interest. And the Constitution was written to protect the needs of the many, not the needs of the few. All laws are supposed to be written in the needs of the many and not in the needs of the few. That's a simple win-win when arguing against Citizens United. It quite literally violates the law to every degree when it comes to ethics, the rules, the codes, Constitution. Look up the oath of public service for any of them. Then look up what are the violations or consequences for violating the oath. And it clearly states fines, removal from public service, and incarceration. And there's a lot of things happening right now that aren't happening. And a lot of people's constitutional rights are being deprived right now. People are getting fired here, there, everywhere from public service. But when people are in public service, they all took an oath to the Constitution. They are not there as political servants. They're serving a political party. They're not there to serve a president, a governor. That goes with all public servants. National Labor Relations Board, the American Bar Association, your state bar association. Everybody's required when it comes to creating laws, making laws, enforcing laws, is required to do what's in the public interest and maintain the public trust. Most people think when they mean your personal trust in them, no. In parts, yes, but if you look up the public trust doctrine, nobody's maintaining the public trust. Look up the public trust doctrine. It's part of this thing we call democracy, and it's mandatory. It's mandatory, and it's not happening. Okay, just like this corporate puffering. Politicians, before they were separate from the corporate world, but the corporate world always bought off the politicians. But now you have, businessmen in the corporate world. From businessmen from the corporate world as the politicians, so they just cut out the middleman. Simple as that. Some say they can't be bought, but they were the ones doing the buying, so they can't be bought because they bought the people they were buying or got them out, and now they're in, and you know, a conspiracy is a bunch of people, more than two people, look it up, against rights, depriving people of their constitutional rights, and under the color of law. You just think it's legal because the legal system's doing it, politicians are doing it, nobody's saying anything, you know, so everybody just thinks it's legal. But if you look up these laws I'm talking about, you'll find that it isn't. There's a lot of things that aren't legal in this legal system or in the political arena that I talk about, you know, and I don't care what side, what spectrum of the political arena you're in, you know, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Liberal, I don't care. You know, all I'm talking about is the laws, and most laws that I talk about are the ones that are unspoken of, rarely spoken of, even just as rare and enforced. Like I said, violating the oath. Look up consequences for violating the oath. Mandatory fines, removal from said public service, and incarceration. You know, and in violating that oath caused a death, the death penalty can be included. You know, just too much happening that isn't, you know. I'm being apolitical. I've always been apolitical AF. But, you know, everybody always, the politically religious, tell me I'm politically correct. Yeah, well, I mean, if I were politically religious, then I would have to be politically correct. But politically religious don't care if you're politically correct. They just go by what some of these people say. You know, I see people on there that say, do your research. You know, I've done my research. How about you do yours? You know, public interest. Look that up. The public trust doctrine, corporate puffing. I forgot. I posted about this case before that Elon Musk won because the judge said nobody should believe him. Like that judge for Fox News said, you know, they don't have to put some label on their propaganda or whatever, because anybody that watches Fox News knows that this isn't real news. You know, it's, you know, only an idiot would believe him. You know. But listen to the judge from it's on the internet where where his investors lost a lot of money, and because the payout wasn't what he said it was. You know, the products didn't reach expectations, so they lost out on a lot of money. But the judge said it was, you know, probabilities. What could possibly become of it, you know, in the future, with no expectations as to when, how long. He just was exaggerating. All right. So, but you know, I mean, but this is how the system has always worked. Is it legal? No, but it's the way they've always done it. It's just the way they've always done it. There's a lot of laws I post on legal reform that people just aren't doing. You know. But look up ethics in politics. There's mandatories for that. Ethics in media. Ethics in the corporate world, that those are self-imposing. You know, they do that themselves. But the last job I worked that made me disabled, they had a company policy that was non-union. They violated the company policy in every way, and the company policy said all employees. But when I took it to the National Labor Relations Board told me, well, they said only office employees. I said, no, it says all employees. And she said, no, they said only office employees. And I said, isn't that contrary to the letter of the law? And she got kind of witty and scared and talked to some people. But either way, they did nothing for me. You know, I was trying to unionize the company because, for so many reasons, but mostly for discriminatory reasons. And the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission said I didn't have a case. I got fired because I was handicapped. You know, they said I couldn't do the job that I was there for, so get out. And I was physically assaulted. But see, a lot of the stuff I post is to try to help you not have to go through what I've been through. You know, now this stuff is on the internet. You know, when this was going on, I guess it was on the internet, but I didn't have a computer. I couldn't afford one. I couldn't afford the internet. You know, I knew the law, but there was a lot of stuff I couldn't do because I didn't know anything about the internet or have any way of getting on it. So I had to teach myself, buy a computer, teach myself. And that's what I do. Now I'm teaching you things I read about. Laws. The law. You know, I'm doing my best to do what's in the public interest so we can get the public trust back on its right track, okay? Look up the public trust doctrine, okay? There's things that they're messing with they have no legal right to. No government official has a right to, and by government official, I mean public servant. Remember, they are the guard dogs, the watchdogs. They are supposed to be, you know, the mechanics. They're supposed to be doing preventive maintenance on this stuff. You know, make sure everything is working and fine-tuned. Social Security, you know, healthcare, public school system. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there that you don't know about. You should look it up. Look up the public trust doctrine. Look up a list of public servants. That's all you got to type in. A list of public servants, the public trust doctrine. That's law. That's law. All right, thanks. I'm sorry. It's just my vision is really shot. I've been very sick for a long time. It turns out I've been living with black mold. And the side effects, I just recently found out. It's what's been wreaking terror in my life. Oh, man, I'm really sick. My vision goes, headaches, bad, blurred vision. I can't read like I used to because I can't see. Everything goes hazy. A few times I thought I went blind. You know. Muscle aches, the bone aches. I know about the joint aches. I had 6 operations, 6 different joints, both shoulders, both knees, both shoulders, both knees, and both wrists. I still got to get both ankles, or at least one of my hips fixed soon, real soon. Ow. And my elbows. Something's wrong with my neck. I need to get out of here quick, fast, and hurry. Tomorrow I'm going to the PCP and get whatever testing I need done. I looked it up on the net. It ain't pretty. All right, thank you, and have a good day. I hope you use every available asset I post on legal reform. I have a page or a channel on YouTube called The Vent, and it's just me discussing laws that you should know about and use and where to use them, you know, and TikTok and Instagram and some other. I tried a few times on the X Twitter, but you know they don't let me, so I've stopped trying. All right, I'm going to keep posting where and when I can, but you should really look that up. Corporate puffing. You know, it's what people do in the big business world. That's how they make their money. You know, but I also you could do something with that as far as ethics. You know, you look up ethics. There, every politicians have a code of ethics. You know, legal system, judges. There's a code of ethics. The Ethics Commission. You know, lawyers have a code of ethics. Ethics Commission. Any violation of codes or the rules are just massive ethics violations. So you can not only get them for violating the rule of code, but ethics violations as well. You know, all your constitutional rights. You know, I mean, if there is no effective assistance of counsel, that shows the ineffective assistance or the ineffectiveness of the court itself. So there's no such thing as a fair trial. Due process doesn't exist. And I'm just trying to teach you how to get through it. All right. You know, nothing but love and respect to you. When it comes to we the people, I'm your biggest fan. You have a good night. God bless.